This week we are going to continue with autumn projects and fall, because technically fall and autumn is not over until the last day of it is December 21st. So you only have just a few days before it's actually Christmas of it actually being the winter months or the winter season. So what we're going to draw is we're just going to using some basic simple lines for review and shapes. We're going to create a pumpkin. And because it is beginning to be the last part of November, and this pumpkin knows that, December's coming up, and pretty much everybody's going to be taking down their pumpkins and putting up Christmas. For those who celebrate Christmas will be taking down their pumpkins and putting up Christmas stuff and everything. So he's going to be a sad pumpkin. So we're going to give him a face. So we're going to go ahead and start drawing our pumpkin with the sad face, because he just did not get picked, and he's pretty much sad about it because he's still just sitting out there, and he was not picked this fall season, and he knows it's about time for everybody to just not really need him anymore. So he's afraid he's just going to have to sit there. So we'll go ahead, and the first shape we're going to start with is an oval. So right in the center of your paper, and you want to draw it landscape. Don't turn your paper this way, which is portrait style. You're going to turn it sideways and have your paper landscape. And in the center, we're going to put a large oval. And bring that oval on around and connect it where we started. And then we're going to go ahead, and whichever side you want to start on, towards the top of that oval, not completely in the center, but come to the side just a little. Not all the way over here, but at the top still, but kind of to the side, so that you have enough space for a stem in there. Or if you want to, you could just go ahead and draw your stem, which would help some. So draw your stem up there first, the stem of your pumpkin. And then you'll know exactly where to start your line for the side. So you're just going to draw a curved line that comes out to the side and bring it down and around, almost like you're writing a big, huge C, but connecting it to the sides of that oval. And then you're going to go to the other side and draw a backwards C shape, connecting to that oval in the middle. And this gives our pumpkin the ribs. And there is a video that you should watch first that goes along with this, and that we will watch first if you're live with me, that will explain all about pumpkins and their seeds and their ribs, and there's just what makes them kind of bumpy is the ribs in them. And this is just drawing the texture to show the texture of the ribs. So once you have your pumpkin shape drawn, we're going to go ahead and add the face on our pumpkin. So we just need 2 circles, a circle in each side of that oval. So there's 1 circle, 2 circles, and then we're going to bring a line, kind of a smile-shaped line for his eyelid in each one of them through the middle, and that gives our eyelids, and his eyelids are kind of down and droopy because he's sad, because it's so late in the fall season when the fall crops are pretty much finishing up for the year, and he wasn't picked. So now we're going to draw a U shape up under that smile shape. So draw your U shape and connect it to the top of that smile shape. And then another curved, almost half circle down in the bottom of that U shape for his pupil and his eye. And we're going to do another U shape in this one. And then that almost half circle. Now, we are going to draw a teardrop shape. So you're just going to bring a line down, around, and back up to a point. So you want to make it round at the bottom and pointy at the top. Now we're going to give him a frowny face line, because he's sad. So he's not smiling. And we're going to do another frowny face line to kind of give it some thicken up his mouth a little bit there. And that part's going to be colored in black or brown, whichever color you choose. Now, as we have done plenty of times before, we're going to add in a horizon line. And our horizon line separates our ground from our sky, or our foreground from our background. So we're going to bring that horizon line on each side in towards the pumpkin and stop it on each side. Now, the last thing to add is our vines, because pumpkins do grow on a vine. And you'll learn all about the vines in the video, or you should have watched it by now. And we're just going to use just going to bring a line out and do some loopy loops. So we're going to loop that, bringing it around, loop it again, and stop it. Let's bring it down a little bit. Now, we're going to leave that in a pointy shape, and we're just going to follow along that line and go back up the side of it. So following along, we're going to loop it back around and keep following that other line, leaving just a little bit of space in between because it's a vine, so it's kind of thin. And loop it around again and continuing to follow that line and bring it back to the pumpkin. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to bring a line out and curving it around. then loop it, and then bring it on around, and kind of curve it around however you want to. It doesn't matter which way you decide to curve your lines. And then just bring it down to a point, and then go back just like we did with the other one, following that line and looping it back around for our loopy-loop line. Curve that line around, following the first line, keeping it close together like we did the last one, because vines are really thin and skinny. And bring it back to the pumpkin. And there we have our drawing of our pumpkin. And then you'll just simply color your pumpkin in with whatever you have, markers, crayons, coloring pencils. And then color in the stem. And color in your vine. And we're just going to kind of act like we fast forward in here. You're going to color in this part of your eye black so that that pupil stands out. And color that teardrop. And his eyelids. And you could even color his eyelids in black or brown, that's up to you. And make sure that you color in the background completely. And you will have your completed sad pumpkin for fall. And this is, I'm going to kind of this is our way of fast forwarding. And once you get done, your whole entire paper should be colored in. And there you have your sad pumpkin for fall.